Take it away.
All right. I'm going to follow your camera for this one. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Twisted Minds Protoss in the red, Classic.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Hero.
And I mean, what more can you ask for? PvP, the two best Protoss in Korea, going head-to-head.
Yeah. Talking, I guess, about some of my own matches, we had some pretty crazy results as well. Classic, he on his road here, he actually 2-0 Dark. Had his way with him in a pretty crazy fashion as well. I believe it was game one. He went for a Stargate opener into Glaive Adepts. Just caught Dark off the Glaives. they just eviscerated the mineral lands and killed Dark. And game two, I'm sure you're familiar with Classic. He has been very fond of going into Fast Fleet Begins and going into Tempest Rush, a Tempest Rush.
Yep.
And he just snowballed out of control there as well.
Yeah, I feel like Dark has been struggling a little bit with this matchup, ZVP. So, but it is good to see Classic taking some big games. He also took down Oliveira, right, in the
Oh yeah,
semifinals. So, looking pretty strong. He's had a really good year.
Oh yeah, an amazing year here. I always it's always weird to see that even though we consider Hero to be the stronger player, Classic has been getting better offline results, like at Gamers Aids and at DreamHack Yongshipping. On paper, Classic has been having deeper runs, which is really interesting. I'm not too sure how we can attribute that to Hero, whether it's these offline nerves or maybe we just have too high expectations. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I feel like it's almost like the opposite. I think Hero plays very consistently, whether it's online or offline. But I think Classic, I feel like he's the kind of player that those nerves kind of fuel him sometimes. Where when he's offline, when he's on that stage, it feels like he steps it up a little bit. Because I don't feel like he was playing the same game in a EPT Weekly as he would in Gamers 8 or something like that. I feel like he's just playing a stronger match offline. And he's the kind of player too. He's so smart. He will come up with specific builds just for those tournaments, for the big events, and have a different play style for them. Whereas I feel like a player like Hero, a lot of times he's counting on his micro and counting on that heavy aggression. Speaking of which,
wait, things are popping up.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, we did have 2 gate openers all around. Hero, though, he's committing. He's doubling down, going for a 3rd gateway and a Robo. This is going to be a 1-base all-in at a Hero. Meanwhile, Classic going for a proxy Stargate. Not an all-in. He's expanding behind this. It is a way to get ahead economically, but he's going to need everything he needs to defend back at home because Hero, he's doubling down.
Well, Hero fooled him. Hero went for a 1-gate opener, put down the Nexus, and then as soon as Classic left, he canceled the Nexus. And put down 2 gates and a Robo. And now Classic thinks it's going to be 2-base-to-2. He's going to have a little advantage. He's about to get very surprised when he sees this Warp Prism and a bunch of Stalkers. That is not a good surprise. The Adepts get locked out by the 87 pylons that are there at the top of the ramp. And this Oracle has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, there's a shield battery. There's a shield battery in the main base. We're going for maybe a stasis trap instead, but there's nothing to really be done. We force some lost mining time, but Hero, he can focus on his assault. Back at home, what do we have to defend? We do cancel the natural base. We have shield batteries on the way. 3 of them here on the high ground, but it may just be a numbers game because Hero, he's got so many stalkers.
Yeah, but he does need to break up soon, though, because Classic will eventually push through those pylons with the Adepts, and Hero, he's not going to waste any time diving right in on top of this. Gonna try to use that Prism for some fancy micro. The shield batteries are done. And the one is gonna get overcharged. It's gonna get targeted down by Hero. The probes are here to force the lift up, so Hero's gotta get out of there and back up. But there's double Oracle in the main base of Hero now.
Yeah, we can one-shot Worker. It's not quite lined up. We do have the overcharge, only a handful of workers are going down. Hero is going for another big warp in. Overcharge has run out. Bear that in mind, which means Hero doesn't have to worry about that. He can just force his way up the ramp once again.
Yeah, and this Robo is done, but there's no Immortal on the way or anything. It is just a few Stalkers and these probes. Classic, I feel like he missed an opportunity to get more damage done. And again, those shots not lined up. Eventually, though, the Adepts will start killing probes through the shield battery. But Hero's starting to push through. The shield battery's out of juice here. He's going to warp in back at home to defend. Can Hero break through this? Oh, it's so
he's
close.
barely being... It is so close. He's down to, what, 6 Stalkers here on the front lines. As you mentioned, back at home, he does defend. He's actually going to be recalling back home. And Hero, actually, he's down in Workers. The Oracles, they come back in. They kill even more probes.
Man. I mean, that was a great choice from Classic. Sacrificing one of those Oracles for it, I think, is well worth it. He's up a few workers. Hero is obviously way ahead in army supply. If Classic can get, like, an Immortal out, though, it's going to be very difficult for Hero to break up that ramp.
Exactly, and I don't think Hero has the confidence to do so either. He's keeping so many Stalkers back at home. He has 4 Stalkers to harass, and I think that's the goal here for Hero. He's making probes once again. He's going to try to macro out of this, but Classic is in a better position.
Yeah, if he can not take too much damage here. He's trying to build a Phoenix to push this Warp Prism away, but in the meantime, Hero is going to be able to potentially pick off some probes here. The shield battery is really helping, though, and Hero's got to be careful.
Uh-oh, but to Adepts, they do make their way into the main base, and we commit to the Shade, but the Stalkers are in position.
Oh, man, those Stalkers in a beautiful spot. The Oracle coming in to help out with some DPS now as well. Hero's just got to get out of there, but here's the Phoenix. So now the Prism can't stick around.
Yeah, the Prism is going to be focused down. We do sacrifice some hull damage there, but the Prism does fall. No more reinforcements, no more juggling, and Classic has held. And what does he do from here? Do we try to expand? We have the Immortal finally on the way, and yeah, Classic, he's up in workers and potentially soon to be up in bases, depending on how he wants to take this. I mean, Hero, he's rebuilding that War Prism. He's not expanding. He's doubling down.
I mean, I never expect Hero to not double down. But he's got one advantage right now. He still is up in army supply. That Stargate is not the most helpful thing in the world for Classic. He's trying to build an Oracle, and I don't know if that's where he needs to be spending his money at the moment. He's got to just focus on defending back at home.
Yeah, like Classic, he's forced to cancel. Like, he was intending to expand. He was hoping that maybe Hero was transitioning. He just confirmed the lack of expansion, and now Hero, he still has an opportunity. He has some momentum. He has that Sentry for force fields as well. He could maybe try to catch out that Immortal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's got to be the goal here. There's no Prism or anything for Classic. He's just trying to get another Immortal out. So he doesn't have a lot of micro potential. He's got to be very careful. But the 2 shield batteries on the high ground make this so difficult for Hero.
They really do. The Adepts, they do not commit to the Shade, but a gateway is going to go down. Classic is down to only a single gateway here to warp in, but he does have a second Immortal on the way.
Yeah, 2 Immortals going to be very strong. The Oracle's trying to at least draw some fire back at home. The Adepts are going to finish the Shade this time, so now Hero's going to try to move forward, but the second Immortal pops, and those Stalkers just got to get out of there. A few probes will die, but this is like half of Hero's army in these Adepts, and most of them are going to go down.
They are going down. Classic does end up taking a worker deficit, but with these 2 Immortals, he should be fine here on his 1 base. Hero, he backs the hell off. He's racing back home. And are we still going to double down there? That's is Hero going to try to expand out of this? He does take a worker lead.
I mean, he could. I don't think he's gonna, but he could. He's got that Immortal on the way out. He still has a Warp Prism. I think he at least needs to get across the map and try to keep Classic back in his base. If he wants to expand, I think he needs to be over there, threatening the force field and forcing Classic to stay back up in his main.
Definitely, as he's going to try and go for Hallucinated Scout. Classic is going for a War Prism of his own, so Classic intends to break free to be the aggressor here. Once he does have that Prism, he could try to just go for some harassment, or he can commit. But for now, yeah, both players are still just trying to get a read on each other. That's the thing, like, if one player expands and the other doesn't, like, the defending player is going to be at a disadvantage, so they don't want to, like, trap each other or trap themselves.
Yeah, I kind of love this. Is like old school PvP, right? The first player who expands dies. So both players are like playing chicken. We're about to hit 10 minutes in this game, and it's just 1 phase to 1. The Oracles, though, oh man.
Finally, one of them goes down, but yeah, 9 worker kills back at home. Hero, he's pushing on forward once again, looking at the units tab. Hero, he is up. He's got more than double the Stalker count of his opponent, but he is down in those Immortals. He has to be careful with the force fields.
Oh, but he's got the Prism this time, so he doesn't mind. He's going to pull back up, and those shield batteries again, just helping Classic so much. It is 2 Immortals to 2. Oh, another Immortal gets caught the force field, and the Prism was late.
Classic asleep at the wheel there, unable to save that Immortal. That's pretty big, actually. Now we have a second, not a third Immortal on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, Stasis trap into the main.
Oh, I mean, there's not a lot of probes to trap, but he does trap quite a few of them.
Yeah, like half the pros were trapped there. Meanwhile, Hero just continuing to threaten these shades here. He already caught one of those Immortals, and he commits. He goes for the sentries.
Yeah, gets the sentries. He's going to try to pick these guys up in the Prism. The Prism actually getting very low. Oh, Classic diving for it. He gets the Prism. That is a really important pickoff here.
This is so close.
It really is. Look, at the army supplies have been oscillating back and forth, but they've never been more than like 5 supply apart. It's so close.
And this is such a risky maneuver. I don't know if you see, there's something missing. The Immortals, they're gone. The Prism is going across the map. Classic, he's going for a Hail Mary play, going for a drop here into the main base of his opponent.
Well, because there's no Prism, Hero can't really safely push up into the main base because of the force fields from Classic. So Classic is banking on the fact that Hero won't be able to push up, and he is going to double drop the Immortals. Another massive stasis trap at the main. And Hero now realizes, yeah, he can't push up that ramp.
Yeah, he cannot push up the ramp. The force fields have been thrown down, buying so much time. We force the recall back home.
Yep, and now Classic just gets out of here. There's no blink. These Immortals in this Prism can micro. Oh, Classic, careful. Oh my God, he gets out of there. I can't believe it. He needs to just keep going, though. Hero is going to chase.
He's coming. He's looking to hunt him down as well. The Prism's
no,
he comes back. No.
Wait, hold on. 2 Immortals beats 4 Stalkers.
Oh my God.
Look at this game of chicken. He's just going to recall the Immortals. That's so funny.
Oh my God. Does recall the hell out of there. The Prism still survives. At the same time, the Oracle's going to be coming back in. We could even warp it into the main, but the Stalkers are coming.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a dead Prism. The Adepts will finish the warp in. And Classic's expanding. Classic is going for it.
Wow, he's expanding. I mean, he's got Immortals, he's got Sentries. He can totally defend here. He doesn't have shield batteries, bear that in mind, but I don't think Hero has enough to break him.
No, I mean, Hero is down 11 army supply right now. Classic's got it all on the ground. He's got a bunch of force fields. Hero can try. I mean, he's got to try. He's got the Warp Prism for some fancy micro. Can he bust in?
Here we go. The Prism's going into the main base. Yeah, we do catch a couple of those Stalkers. He's going for the production even.
Yeah, going to try to target down these pylons here. Fortunately, there's a lot of backup pylons. Classic going to be able to get up and defend all of that. Everything stays powered. And Hero's just trying to rotate around, trying to catch him out. But the force fields again for Classic, keeping Hero back. And the longer Classic holds on, the better it's going to be for him.
Yeah, exactly. He's up a base. He's up in economy. Force fields are thrown down for both players. But we have juggling here as well with those Warp Prisms. Heroes is almost down, but he does barely keep it alive.
Yeah, a new Warp Prism out for Classic, so he can do his fancy micro as well. And he is just dominating this fight right now. The 3 Immortals doing so much. And Classic, he's got the better reinforcements, the faster reinforcements, the better mining. And he's going to be able to hold on to his natural base.
Yeah, he shuts this down completely, forcing Hero back. Does target down that Prism. It's going to go down. But what about the main army as so many Stalkers fall?
Yeah, the 2 Adepts getting into the main base, but this is a small consolation for Hero, who is, I mean, his mining is not great back at home. He's trying his best to get some damage done here. Can he kill an Immortal? No, not even that.
Yeah, even the Mortal does make it out as well. The Adept shades out. Meanwhile, back at home, the Oracle comes back in. It's done so much here. Ah, there's no reaction.
And that's going to close it. Hero, any chance he had is definitely gone.
GG, well played. A very chaotic game number 1. Classic will take it, but that was very back and forth, as you were pointing out. Like, there were moments where Hero was up in supply, Classic was up, damage was being done. Like, it was wild.
It was very close. And I think if at any point before Classic took that Nexus, either player had tried to expand, that would have just been game.
Yeah. 100%. And oh boy, in the end, I mean, it all started, like, I love the moves out of Hero. He's so quirky in that way. Like, for him to have his Nexus scattered for him to cancel, double down with gateways and robos. Like, who does that? Like, no one else, not even Max Packs or even Classic would be willing to be that crazy. But Hero, he's different like that. He's built different.
He really is. He really is. And that's a classic Hero move right there.
Mm-hmm.
To just go for the bamboozle, try to confuse your opponent, and then never ever expand. Once he's committed to not expanding, he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing it. I told you." Expansion's
Yeah, exactly. Hero, he is one to commit hard. He's look after it, take care of it. As we are going to be getting into game number 2 here, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Protoss player leading the series 1-0, representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic.
And down 0-1 in this best of 5. In the lower right-hand corner, we have Dragon Kites Gaming's Hero.
And we're loading into one of the only maps in the map pool that actually has a ramp coming into the natural.
Yeah, got those low ground gateways, which doesn't mean anything with these players because they're both certainly... It's very possible we see one base play anyways. I feel like Korean PvP just... I can never tell if it's going to be macro or it's just going to be a 3-gate robo on both sides. It's hard to know.
It is hard. I think if you just assume that it's going to be aggression and going to be an all-in, like you're probably going to be right more often than not. And I'm here for it. You know, this is why I love PvP as a mirror matchup. I should specify specifically Korean PvP. Like that's beautiful.
It's so hard hitting. These guys do not mess around. Yeah, they go for usually very heavy aggression, but Classic is going to go for that base. Hero.
Yeah.
Are you going to go for a base? Why is there a Zealot on the way, Hero?
Yeah, so a big thing here. So Classic actually cut his second gas geyser, so he went for a much faster Nexus, went for a gate expand before the Cybercore, so very greedy, very economic out of Classic. Hero, because of his additional gases, he can either go for some faster tech here with a Robo or a Stargate, or he can expand. We'll see what Hero does decide to go for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Part of me is leaning towards some aggression out of Hero, but we'll see. Classic is keeping an eye on things. There's the Robo. Classic's going to get the nice scout.
Yeah, Classic. He dips into the main base. He does get eyes on the delayed expansion. He also saw the gas mining as well. So Classic, he's aware that he's going to be the defender. And Classic is going to have to do his best Max Packs impression here, assuming that Hero doesn't expand.
Yeah, and I mean, it's never safe to assume with Hero because he drops down the Nexus, right? So, you know, it's assuming really makes an ass out of everybody when it's with Hero.
Yeah.
You just never know. You never know, and that's the power of Hero. I do love this little engagement in the middle of the map. But yeah, now Classic probably thinks he needs to be heavily defending.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for the shield battery on the high ground. We have a Stargate on the way. If he goes for a Void Ray first, that will be a tell that he assumes that he's being all-in. Again, looking at his vision, he hasn't seen much of anything yet. And Hero, he's just transitioning. He may have a later expansion, but he's hoping that Classic does overreact. And there it is. There's that Void Ray.
Yeah, I mean, this is, from what Classic knows, from the information he has, this is absolutely the right call. But Hero, he fooled him. He fooled him. And I was thinking this might be the case because this is like the opposite thing that Hero did last game, right?
Yeah.
And Hero's Nexus is obviously going to be quite a bit later, but he's heading towards, I was going to say a more robust composition because I assumed he was going to Blink, but he's going towards a more fun composition.
I mean, yeah, hey, you said it about assuming with Hero, okay?
Right?
we can't do it, Pap. We can't do it. And yeah, he's going to be going into DTs, a wild maneuver here, but I like it because he should be aware that we're prioritizing Stargate production. We have a second Void Ray. There is no Robo. We can, of course, get into Oracles. There is potential for some form of detection, but yeah, like this is going to be a bit of a tricky move here, and Classic, for the time being, is in the dark.
Yeah, and we'll see if Classic is able to get a scout. Oh my god, what is this probe? What is this probe doing? It's gonna get right in there.
No shot he sees. He sees everything. He does get eyes on the Dark Shrine, and immediately the Robo was already on the way. He should be working on that Observer. He will have detection.
Yeah, and he's going to move across the map and see if he can't poke and prod at this. The Dark Shrine gets canceled. Oh, my God. Hero playing mind games.
I mean,
but now that Blink is super late.
It is. Blink is very late. You do have Hero threatening a War Prism drop across the map, but Classic is committed. He doesn't bat an eye. He doesn't react at all. He's pushing up into the natural base of Hero.
Yeah, ooh, a nice force field, though. Going to block some of those Stalkers out. There's no shield battery here for Hero. He was playing with fire, and the Void Rays, how did they both get out of there? Oh my
God. Void Rays Immortals? What are they called here? They refuse to die, as Classic is going to be forced back, but a lot of lost mine time, a lot of damage was dealt. Hero does deflect his opponent, though, and he does have that reinforcing pylon across the map. Hero, he's pushing out.
Yeah, I mean, Blink is on the way. He's got 2 more gateways finishing up. Hero could put some counter pressure on. Again, the Blink is a more robust composition, right? It's a better composition moving forward, especially if Hero wants to try to take a third base and stop Classic from doing the same. Now is going to be the perfect opportunity for that.
Yeah, Hero, he's going to be containing Classic to 2 bases here, working towards Blink, as you were saying, working towards that third base. Classic did sneak out a probe, and I wonder, are we bold enough to go for a ninja base?
I mean, Classic's definitely bold enough to go for a ninja base. But
now Pylon is being thrown down. Yeah, I'm really curious, as we do have high ground vision.
Oh, man, the hallucinated Colossus. What a move. He's going to be able to blink up into the main. Just trim off a prison, or shield battery, rather. The Immortal going to come out, though, so these Stalkers got to leave. Got to leave. Oh. Loses a couple of those.
But yeah, delayed blink there. Stalkers are going down. Classic does have that probe in position. Meanwhile, Hero rotates towards that natural base. He's going to be able to pick off a gateway. At the same time, Classic, the Void Rays, they go into the main.
Yeah, they're going to do some harassment here. Maybe pull Hero back. Hero trying to kill the Immortal. He gets it through the overcharged shield battery. And there it is. The ninja base from Classic. God, you love to see it. This is why we love Korean PvP.
It's beautiful. As we catch the Void Rays, they both go down. Classic was a bold move to go for the harassment. He gets punished for it. But thankfully, he isn't contained to 2 bases. Hero, he's unaware of the ninja, but he's still up in economy and still up with a much faster third.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a better position for Hero. Classic's trying to pull it back in a way that Hero might not be expecting. I do love the Adepts here. The Void Rays going down is a bit sad, but I think they'd kind of done their job already. Not the end of the world for Classic. And he's just going to try to get some damage done here, but Hero is very much in position with these Stalkers.
Yeah, he's here at the natural, has force fields available if he ever did need them. Adepts will not commit to the shade, but Classic is pushing out. Again, I feel like he needs to try to threaten this third. Looking at his vision, Classic, he hasn't seen the third base yet, but he should be aware that it has been taken, and at least he's getting away with this ninja as, he's moving out, even with the War Prism to reinforce.
Yeah, this is really nice for Classic. I don't think Hero's going to be... I think if Hero sees this attack, he's going to expect it to be all in, but Classic does not need to be all in. He can just kind of poke and prod. Again, he's got that third. He's recalled probes to it. He's going to have decent mining up back at home. So Hero might try to over-defend here. This might give Classic an opportunity to get into a decent macro position.
Yeah, exactly. Like Classic, he's not looking to commit. He's trying to distract, trying to keep the attention of Hero here at the third base as he goes for the Adept Harass here in towards the natural instead. Hero not quite in position as he once was, but there are still Stalkers, and he does deny the shade.
Yeah, good defense from Hero. Hasn't taken any damage. Classic would love to find something to pick off here. A couple of probes, Stalker or 2, and it just hasn't happened.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Hallucination is going to be coming in. Looking at the vision of Hero, he is checking the third bases. He's trying to figure out, are you all-inning? Like, what exactly is going on?
Yeah.
He still has not seen the third.
No, I think he might figure it out soon, but I feel like we've all been in that game where there's a ninja base and you just don't think about it, right? It can so easily not cross your mind that your opponent has a hidden base somewhere, especially since Classic does look like he's all-inning. He's really posturing so far forward. He just doesn't need to. He could go for it.
He's selling a story right now. Like, he's puffing up his chest. He's going to be threatening that natural. Good force fields here at the third base. But again, he isn't committing. Charge is soon to kick in, though, and Classic can maybe try to reinforce. And there we go. Zealots are on the way. This army becoming a little bit better, well-rounded.
Yeah, Charge done for both players, but we don't see any Zealots warped in for Hero just yet. Just focusing on defending with the Stalkers and the Immortals. He's going to throw down a new Dark Shrine.
Dark Shrine is on the way. Hero gonna try and poke on forward here. Almost gets caught out. Good force fields at a classic. Nice blinks here from Hero. Doesn't lose anything yet, as both armies are still just kind of be threatening each other, threatening a dive.
Yeah, Hero's finally feeling like he's got enough to push out here. Classic is ahead a little bit of army supply. Oh, this is a weird position for Classic to be fighting from, and Hero's going to take that opportunity to start off the fight really nicely. Some force fields going down, a lot of bottlenecks here for these Zealots to try to get through.
They just can't break through. The force fields, they were just too good. Finally, they do manage to get on top of the army. They do force back some of those Immortals as well. Good concave here at a Classic. He tries to dive on top of the Prism. He gets it.
Oh man, that is a huge grab because now the Immortals can't really get out of here from the Blink Stalkers. They're going to try to run away. One of them going to go down though before it gets back to the shield battery, and Classic is pushing forward, but the army supply is flipped a little bit. Hero warps in some more units. Classic needs to be very careful not to overcommit.
Yeah, it was so huge that Classic lost his first Immortal so quickly in that fight. Classic is forced back, but he's expanding. He's taking a fourth base behind this. Technically soon to be up in bases, but Hero, he did preserve his own Immortals. His army is that much more threatening.
Yeah, and he's warping in some DTs now. He might be able to get some cheeky damage done on the other side of the map. He still doesn't necessarily know that there's a hidden base. So Hero might think he's in a different kind of position than he is. This is a very even game right now.
Yeah, exactly. As the DCs are waddling in and they're looking to deny this fourth. As you mentioned, Hero thinks it's a third, and with that, he may think he's in a better position than he really is. He's checking the the linear third base location as well. He sees no extra base.
Yeah, he's going to spot no extra base. The DTs get blocked out. It looks like Classic saw the shimmers. And so Classic's going to be able to defend, but uh-oh, Hero.
He's checking.
The star sense, and he is going to find this base. We're going to see a recall on at least a few of these probes, but Classic, he got away with this for such a long time. And now it will finally go down.
Yeah, now Classic is in a brutal position. He did save some workers. He has a backup third base, but now Hero is working on a fourth. The Dark Shrine, of course, kicking in as well. Hero rotating back around. Classic going for his own Dark Shrine to try to make some magic happen with those DTs, but yeah, I would say that Hero does have an edge, especially after killing and fighting that base.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Classic's not too far behind. That is a very fresh third base now, right? So he's not mining out at it at all. So he'll be able to send all of his probes over there. He's got a Templar Archive, so his Archons are a little bit easier to make than the DT Archons. A little bit cheaper overall, but they kind of mesh better with the army. So Classic should be able to keep that army supply up pretty similar to Hero's. Hero does have a +1. Classic's behind a full upgrade right now.
Yeah, the upgrades are going to be quite impactful, especially when it comes to Stalker versus Stalker. What's interesting is the army compositions. Classic, he's down in Stalkers, but he's slightly ahead in Archons, but only by one. He's so heavily reliant on these Zealots, he may even try to catch some of these Stalkers. Oh, as he does notice both players, they do back off.
It's a dicey situation. The Stalkers can, of course, pick off those Zealots, but if there's too many Zealots, the Stalkers do really struggle. Here come the DTs, but Hero, he's pretty ready for this. Maybe? I don't know. The cannon gets taken down, but the observers are there. 9, 10
cannons are going down.
This is actually pretty huge damage coming after
And we're pulling Hero. He's being pulled out of position. The main army is going to be pushing on forward, and we could try to go straight for the third, or we could try to collapse on the army itself.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to get on this army. Grabs the Prism. Not the biggest deal right now for Hero. His Stalkers, though, caught very far to the left from the rest of his army. This is such an awkward engagement. I think Hero's still doing okay with it right now as his Zealots and Archons and Immortals get into the fight. Classic's really struggling to handle this side of the army, and now the Stalkers are getting on top of the Immortals, and I think Hero's just going to take this fight. He's going to take the game.
GG, well played. That was a really awkward fight out of Hero. I don't fault Classic for going in and diving in like that, but yeah, the fight did very quickly swing in favor of Hero as he won on both fronts. The DT Harass was doing amazingly, and but unfortunately just wasn't the opportunity that Classic was maybe hoping for there.
Yeah, I think it was a good call to try to get in on that while the army was out of position. But it turned out Hero wasn't that far out of position. His Stalkers were able to blink back and buy some time. The rest of the army could come in, and then he ended up with kind of a surround on top of Classic. And again, I think that upgrade lead, I think it was +2 to +1 during that fight for Hero, just gave him enough of an edge to take it down.
There you go. And we are now tied up. We are tied up 1-1. We're looking to find out who takes a lead in this series. As a reminder, it's still a best of five, so plenty more games ahead of us, which is a good thing. You know, we want all 5 games here. We want to sink our teeth into Classic and Hero.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want more one base versus one base play is what I really want.
Things got a little bit shaky in that last game as we were getting up to 3-base saturation, which was concerning. You know, things were almost looking like a normal game, but thankfully we avoided that.
Yeah, things got a little bit wild. We had, ninja bases and the like. That's what you want to see from Korean PvP. And now hopping into game 3 on Oceanborn. We have our red Protoss in the upper left-hand corner. It is a classic.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, going for the low ground gateway, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming. It is Hero.
Yeah, going for the Max Packs opener. You love to see it. That tells me Hero's definitely going to one base.
It's a very high chance here. As I think I was talking to you last time we casted how it does feel like Hero. I pointed out Hero Nightmare. They have been more prone to go for these kind of gate expands. As you mentioned, doesn't always lead into a macro opener, but it can, and it's really cool to see some of the Korean Protoss players kind of adopt the Max Packs opener.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny. Like the Max Packs opener, initially, it was just him. Years ago, and then it felt like everybody started adopting it and going for it all the time. Oh my god, that probe died. Damn. Classic winning the mind games right now.
The mental victory here in favor of Classic. He's sending out his probe, by the way. Now that there's no scouting information, Classic, he can commit, and there we go. The proxy pylon is thrown down.
Yeah, and Classic saw the low ground gate, so he's expecting the Nexus, and Hero is going to oblige him. Can Hero do his best Max Packs impression and hold against literally anything all the time?
Exactly. That's going to be the question. Your Cyber Cores are about to finish up. Then we can see our text of choices here. Hero should be going for a Stargate, but he went for a gate expand. He only has one Gas Geyser. Doesn't really have a lot to work with here. And Classic, are we going to commit? Show us the robo. Oh, show us the gateway even.
Oh, okay. Proxy gate. All right. Maybe a robo and a gate at that pylon? Yep.
Yeah, we can. There it is. So one base all in at a Classic, and Hero is none the wiser. He's fanning out his units. He's looking for proxies on the right and left-hand side. He's not checking the center of the map, though, which is where the proxy is.
I love when the proxy's in the most obvious spot, and that's the one spot the player doesn't check. It's so like 800 IQ.
Oh, yeah. The big brain plays here out of Classic, and Hero is going to be in a bit of trouble as a result. So we mentioned before that because he went for a single Gas Geyser, there's a second gateway, there's such a delayed Stargate here, which means unlike Max Packs, there's no Void Ray. There's no Void Rays to defend.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's such a crucial part. He's going to spot this now. Can he take this pylon down? Because Stalker's on the way for Classic. I think he needs to send another probe out here just to make sure, because that pylon could get dived on by Hero, but it looks like he's not going to just yet. Going to try to trade with these Stalkers a little bit. That's going to give time for this Immortal to potentially get out.
Yeah, I mean, Hero, he does trade out better. He does snipe one of those Stalkers already, but the second probe, the probe has a right, throwing down the second pylon to keep everything powered, and here come the reinforcements, and Hero, he has to back off.
Yeah, and this is becoming a real problem for Hero right now. His second gate's about to finish. He's got a couple more on the way, but they're not here just yet. There's only one pylon and one shield battery on the low ground. He needs to hold against this Immortal with a Prism on the way.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'll be very impressed if Hero can somehow survive here. Like, no Robo, no Stargate, no Void Rays, no Immortals. Like, Hero is going to defend with purely vanilla Stalkers. Does have a couple of pylons across the map just to make sure and get eyes on any kind of transition. But Classic is going for the Adept Shade towards the natural base, towards the mineral lines even.
Yeah, and there is nothing up here to stop this. The Stalkers have to try to come all the way back in to deal with this. A few Adepts are getting warped in to help defend it, because now the Stalkers need to go back down to the low ground to deal with this pressure, as that Cybercore is in some trouble.
Yeah, but that's a lot of Stalkers here for Hero. He can actually force his back. He can maybe try to take a head-on fight here.
Oh, the second Immortal is not out yet. Hero doesn't have a lot of micro potential. And the Prism here for Classic is going to be very good. That Immortal is going to be hard to kill, I think, for Hero.
Yeah. It's going to live up to its name, and now we have a second Immortal on the way. Hero going for a proxy gateway across the map even. Oh, he's crazy.
He really is. He really is. He's warping in over there, trying to get some harassment damage done while he holds on with the overcharged shield battery. The Adepts out front here for Hero, buying him some time. But he's just trying to hold on so he can get damage done on the other side of the map. Oh, beautiful force field. Trapping some of those Stalkers out front.
Yeah, we catch 3 of those Stalkers at the same time. Adepts, they are breaking in, by the way. They do depower the gateways. We are busting into the main.
I mean, this is some good damage for Hero, but he just doesn't have enough. Look at that army supply. It is doubled for Classic. And he's just going to be able to micro so much over on this side of the map. Even if he loses all of his probes, his army is just so much better.
Yeah, the Adepts even came back home for Hero as well. They're going to try to hold on, but it looks like the natural base has been broken. The Immortals, they bust in towards the main base. We do have 4 gateways, but again, barely anything to defend. Cybercore went down. We can only warp in Zealots.
Oh, that's so brutal. The probes try to come off the line, but the force field stops them. One Immortal on the low ground is going to kill these 2 Stalkers, and there's just nothing left here for Hero.
Yeah, there's 1 Adept, 0 Adepts, only pros. We have the overshot to keep 1 Stalker alive, but it's not going to be enough, and it looks like Classic is going to be taking a lead in this series. Only workers remain. Hero across the map going for a warping of Zealots.
He's
doing
trying
whatever
his
he can,
best.
but...
There's a wall. Oh, the Zealot's worst enemy.
GG gets called, and Classic takes a 2-1 lead.
Yes, he does. What a game. I mean, Hero not scouting that Robo quickly was really the crux of that. He was trying to defend on just, like you said, vanilla Stalkers, right? No upgrades, no tech. It was 4 gateways. That's it. And it's just basically impossible.
Yeah, and on top of that, right, the opener of Hero was just so greedy. It wasn't just a gate expand, as we pointed out. Even MaxFax rarely goes for gate expands. He usually goes for, especially if he thinks he's up against aggression, he goes for a Stargate first, then the expansion with additional gases. Hero was cutting corners. He was going for one of the greediest openers you could go for. That's why he could only defend with Stalkers, because he had so limited gas to work with initially. And yeah, he was punished for his greed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Hero was hoping... I mean, you take that chance, right? You hope your opponent tries to go for a quicker expansion, or maybe doesn't scout what you're doing, or maybe hoping that Classic would think it was another, like game 1, like it was another Bamboozle, and it wasn't really an expansion. But it didn't work out. He over Bamboozled, and it turns out sometimes the answer is just proxying a gateway in a Robo, like we saw. In that game from our red Protoss player, now spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Solaris. It is Twisted Minds Classic.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Protoss up against the wall. He needs to win this game to force the ace match. Representing Dragon Kai-Z Gaming, it is Hero.
Yep, winning 2 PvPs in a row. It's a hard thing to do. Oh, look at those probes. Kissing in the middle of the map.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Again, no hard feelings, I'm sure, between these players. And yeah, it's just been so chaotic so far. As you mentioned before, sometimes in PvP, you expand, you die. And Hero just, rolling the dice there, as you were saying, just taking a big risk, taking a game. Oh no, once again!
God.
Just like the last game! Is that it? Is it over?
It's over.
Do we just crown Classic the champion?
Yeah. Honestly, we could probably just leave this game now.
Really? Do you think that was what won Classic the last game? Actually, killing the first probe on Oceanborn, like that's...
I mean, it's basically... It gives you like a 90% win chance, It's a huge advantage. It's like getting 2 Adepts in, Basically that level of... I mean, coming back is so hard. But in a very real sense, because he killed that probe in the last game, Classic was able to do whatever he wanted. Hero
100%.
all of a sudden had no scouting in his main, and Hero was sending units all over the place, but it put Hero in this awkward position where he was being super greedy and had no idea what his opponent was doing. Now in this game, he's not being super greedy. This is a very standard opening for Hero. So it doesn't matter quite as much, but it is still going to be important. Hero does not have any scouting. He doesn't know that, you know, Classic's third pylon is on the low ground and it looks like he's going to expand.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know about the third pylon. I mean, he didn't even see the second pylon either. They could be a proxy for all he knows. So,
yeah,
again, just really massive that that first probe did go down. As we are seeing, we do have a double adept opener. The probe of Classic did confirm that, and he himself is going double adept as well. Hero is doubling down, by the way. He's making a third and fourth adept behind this.
Ooh, maybe a little cheeky 8 adept opening.
Yeah,
Could be.
Possibility. Yeah, is there as Hero's getting across the map. He gets into the main.
Oh man. Wait, both players got into the main. What's happening? But Hero's third and fourth adepts are going to be there to help defend, whereas this is 2 sentries, which is not particularly ideal. Hero leaves, which I'm a little surprised by because I feel like he could have stuck around a little bit longer.
I mean, he's going back in if he wants to. He could try to go for the sentries as well. The world is his oyster. He goes for the probes, gets another worker, is looking to get another as well, forcing out a force field. This also means that because we just saw 2 force fields, no hallucination scout here for Classic.
Yeah, and he gets 1 more probe, putting Classic down 4 workers right now. And Hero's going to warp in 2 more adepts, drop a proxy gate. Oh, man, he's going for it.
He is, again, nothing but adepts on the map here for Hero, sending everything across the map. Once again, the wall just never is going to be a wall here. Hero just going to be consolidating his army, bringing everything together before committing. Behind this, he's not all in. He's expanding. He is taking his natural base, but he has so much potential for damage.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Classic can't send probes down to the low ground. The 4 adepts finish the shade and kill both of the sentries. 2 more adepts showing up to try to get more probe damage. Hero is sacrificing all of his army right now to just kill as many probes with Classic as he possibly can. And Classic, I mean, what can he do on the other side of the map? He doesn't have a robo. He's on 2 gates. There's not a lot of aggression possible here from Classic, and Hero is just way ahead.
Yeah, Hero, he's just having his way with Classic right now, has a massive economic lead, and Classic should basically be forced all in at this point. His Stalkers are moving out. In a head-to-head fight, Classic can win this, but as I say that, Hero, he goes for a big warping of Stalkers, and we can just go for the base trade. We can just send it, and Classic, I mean, what's he going to do? Does he commit?
I mean, I think he has to recall, right? He can't just... This is like 5 Stalkers. Hero can... I mean, Hero can kind of do whatever he wants, but I think, yeah, Hero's going to go for the recall. I assume Classic will now recall. Or, yeah, Classic's just going to tap out. That's actually the right answer.
Yeah. That's the play to make in that situation. GG gets called. Hero pulling Classic apart with the mass adepts. Both players kind of fumbling the ball a little bit when it came to walling off. But, again, because Classic went for follow-up sentries, that is just not ideal to defend against anything, really. And the sentries were focused down, and Hero snowballed out of control.
Yeah, I think that was almost an intentional lack of a wall from Hero. You know, they both scouted the adepts in the middle of the map, but Hero had those follow-up 2 adepts. He did lose a couple of probes, but because he got in, got way more damage done. It just, snowballed out of control, like you said. With that proxy gate, too. It's so funny. Hero just, like, cavalierly proxying gateways.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he's so suave. He is. Oh god, it's always so like inspiring to watch, and then you try it yourself, and it does not have anywhere near as much success as as when Hero does it. But we have the game 5. We have an ace match. We got what we wanted.
We did, as we deserve. This ace match. We're on hard lead now for game number 5. We'll see who can finish off this PvP. See if we get any nexuses in this game. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have Twisted Minds Classic.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, going for the gate expand setup once again. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon Kai Z Gaming. It is Hero.
Yeah, going for that low ground gate. We'll see if he goes for a single gas again this time, taking that chance.
Yeah, we'll see if he's going to be greedy or if he commits. Probes are being sent out from both players here. As you also mentioned, there's also the possibility if Hero tries to double down and go for a 1 base all in himself. Like, these players, they can be so unpredictable.
That's what makes it so exciting, but also such a coin flip, right? For every single Protoss playing PvP, except for MaxPax. It's such a coin flip. You're like, okay, I'm going one base, but your opponent, they could be going one base too. They could be expanding. They could be taking a hidden. You kind of can't know 100%. And it's such a hard thing. We do see a double gas from Hero this time, though, so he's at least playing a little bit safer.
Exactly. So he's not rushing into that Giga Fast natural that we saw previously where Hero was punished on Oceanborn. So with the second gas geyser, this should be leading into a Stargate before Nexus. If Classic does kind of leave the natural base open, then Hero could still try to expand. So he's got some options available, but tech should be on the horizon for him as he does go for the Nexus.
Yep, taking that Nexus first, using that opportunity, the probe not being there to grab that base. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There's the Stargate. Hero, he's like, yeah, I guess MaxPax does this for a reason.
True. So now he's gonna have Void Rays available. Meanwhile, Classic throws down at the proxy gateway. It's looking like potentially a one-base all-in. This wouldn't be a bad position for a proxy Stargate to try to get some economic damage done. So Classic, he likewise has some options as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of expect this to be a gateway robo situation again. Oh, Classic?
Yeah.
Maybe?
We'll see. He's waiting for his gas, and there it is. It is going to be the gateway.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be a Stargate when he was like waiting for money, but nope. Right to the gateway. I think the thing about a Stargate here is it's a little more vulnerable. Whereas if you're attacking with the gateway and the robo, you don't have to worry about defending that proxy as much. But Hero is checking around for it. He's looking for something.
He is. He's checking his linear third. He's going to be going towards the triangular third momentarily as well. He's going Oracle first, so he's going to be getting across the map. There should be hopefully a Void Ray after this, but this is a risk here from Hero.
Yeah, but it can be a really nice risk if you're able to get some damage on the other side of the map, stasis traps, or even just trying to chew through that Oracle energy. And he's going to get the scout on this.
There we go. Hero, he does see the gateway and the robo. He's fully aware of the all-in Void Ray being chronoed out as we speak. But Classic, he's knocking down that front door. Shield battery is done, though. We will soon have an overcharge. And so far, Hero, he's holding. He's trying to at least. Up.
Yeah, he's going to turn on that overcharge. He was trying to hold on to it, I think, but got to use it to keep that Stalker alive. Kills a Stalker, and now he's forcing two Stalkers back at home for Classic. And, I mean, that's a really nice set of units. Whoa, Hero.
Yeah, a big overextension, getting caught out of the map here. One Stalker goes down. Void Ray has arrived, but Hero, he's going to be careful.
Yeah, he's got to be super careful. He's going to lose this Void Ray. Oh my god, it doesn't pull back far enough. He was trying to build a Phoenix too to deal with the War Prison that's coming out, but he desperately needs that Void Ray.
Yeah, I saw the Phoenix as well. A bold move out of Hero. He's being punished for it at the same time. Oracle comes in, but we have the overcharge. The Oracle, it does nothing. No damage is being done, and now Classic can focus on his assault, and he is breaking into the natural. He's pushing through.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think Hero can stop this. This pylon's going to go down. There's no backup pylon at all. Artosis. Oh, no. God. And that's
the Artosis pylon. GG gets called.
Classic takes the 3-2 victory, busting through. Classic's like, you're trying to be MaxPax, but I know a secret. You're not MaxPax. Only MaxPax is allowed to do that. He's the only Protoss.
Exactly.
That
you think I don't know who you are?
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, and yeah, there was a lot coming into that. There was the overextension when Hero did lose a Stalker almost for free when he pushed out. Also, the Oracle did confirm the all-in, but didn't do any damage across the map. I guess did keep a little bit of supply pinned back at home for a little bit, but clearly the Oracle wasn't fully worth it there. And it was a little bit greedy of Hero to start off that Phoenix as well, the Phoenix instead of the Void Ray, so there was like some lost production time there. There was just so much coming into that, and yeah, Hero just wasn't able to hold, able to defend, able to pull the MaxPax.
Yep. I mean, he had all the tools available to him. I think he really had the chance, but losing a couple Stalkers he didn't need to, losing the Void Ray, just a little bit of a missed opportunity there for Hero. And I think we're going to see more one base from him in the future.